Welcome to the Crafty Witch UK. My name is Arietta and today I'm coming to you with another spare drills project. Now, as anyone who has done diamond painting will know, there are always leftover drills, be they lovely nice shiny ones that you want to keep to bling up your next diamond painting project, or whether they are, non-DMC random spares that came in a cheap and cheerful budget canvas. So what do we do with them? I hate, and you feel free to come at me in the comments, I hate the idea of throwing them away. Not just because I am a little bit of a crafty hoarder, but because those tiny little resin acrylic plastic beads getting out there into the ecosystem just fills me with horror. So for the ones that are a bit trashy or I'm not that bothered about, I've got my little jar that I keep filled up, and these get used as filler for resin projects. You can use them for a number of things that are not necessarily diamond paintings. But for the ones that are particularly good quality, or where I've got details such as the DMC number, I keep them, I store them. These ones are all from Craft Buddy. I don't always keep them by store, but I used to be a Craft Buddy affiliate, so I had a lot and it made sense to keep their spares separate. So what do we do with them all? We can't just keep them all in jars forever. So this is one of my suggestions for you, and it combines a couple of different craft projects. So today we're going to be making a card using our spare drills. This is just a basic piece of cardstock that's folded in half. You can pick up white envelopes anywhere. So from Craft Buddy, and again, not sponsored, no longer affiliated, they sell stamps that come with little dots on them that tell you where you could, if you wanted to, place diamonds. So that's what we're going to use today. This is a nice little simple one I thought we'd use. I don't know if the purple will show up very well on the green card, but we'll have a go. This is a brand new one, so I'm going to empty this and open this. There we go. So this is a Let's Colour pigment ink pad. So we'll see how this goes. Just gonna pop that all over, and then let's just go in here, stamp, and there you go. As you can see, we've got all those little circles. So I'm going to do a couple of these. Obviously you could do them in any colour you wanted to. I think I'm going to try a couple of different colours. Again, if you have already done stamping, obviously anything that you've already got you could probably use in the same way. So it's a little bit harder to see on the green, but it's okay. These were incredibly cheap inks that I picked up, so because I wasn't sure how often I would be using them, I didn't want to spend out a lot of money, and so it's entirely up to you how sort of serious you want to get with all this. So there we go, we've got our flowers stamped now. And so what I'm going to do is grab a pencil and just kind of think about where those stems might come. Right, so I've just roughly sketched in where I think sort of the vase would be, and then I'm going to go in with another pen and draw that in. I mean, you might have a stamp for a vase that you want to use. I wanted to make this as sort of simple as possible so that as many people as possible could have a go. It's a very lopsided vase there, to be honest, but never mind. So then we can add in some stems going down into the vase. And yes, it's a bit cartoony and not exactly accurate, but it doesn't really matter. It's just to give that idea that these are in the vase. Oh no, I've smudged it. Okay, be aware of that. The ink that I've chosen was slow drying. I've given it a bit of a smudge. That's quite annoying, but I'll see if I can't fix that. This will be a nice spring project to do if you've got children. You want to get them involved maybe in some diamond painting activities. You could outline your flowers more, but this is where our sort of secret weapon comes in. This is the Crystal Art Magic Glue, which again comes from Craft Buddy. I'm sure there are probably other companies that make this a similar type thing. What we can do with this is put it onto our design, leave it to dry clear, it will remain sticky, and then we can place our diamonds. So I'm just gonna start up here, and I'm just gonna dot wherever there is a circle. You do not need a lot. You could, if you wanted to, just do a thin layer over the whole of the flower, but I find this way is a little bit tidier. So there you go, I've got my little dots of glue, and I'm going to go in and do the others, and then when that's dried clear, we'll do the next step. Okay then, my loves, so this has had a little bit of time to dry. You can see these top ones have gone almost completely clear, the rest are well on their way. I will say these new ink pads I got, for as cheap and cheerful as they were, they are not waterproof, so just keep that in mind. They've been quite smudgy, but I think they'll work for what I need. So now that we've got our glue applied, we can go ahead and choose our colours. Obviously, the world is your oyster when it comes to using your spare drill, so you can do whatever you want. There is nobody to tell you what you can and can't do. I am going to go with some good old 666 for the red flower. So, and obviously you could do a mixture of colours if you wanted to. I am just going to keep it nice and simple for today and just go in, and wherever there's a circle, I'm placing a drill. Let me just move you in a little bit so that you can see that a little bit clearer. And so obviously, because these are a little jumble of circles. You couldn't use a multi-placer, but it's actually quite a quick little process to do. And if you feel like you want to place a drill where there isn't a circle, you can still do that. Just make sure that you've already applied the glue. I've not tried it, but of course you could, instead of using the glue, apply some double-sided sticky tape. That would work the same, although you'd have to make sure you were sort of trimming it to around the edge of the flowers. Depends what you were after in terms of a finished effect. So for instance here, I've got quite a gap there, so I'm just going to squeeze another one in. I will not make you sit through the whole process of me doing this, but just to give you an idea, I will complete this flower for you. So, and obviously, yeah, as I say, you can mix up your colours. You could use anything you wanted. Equally, if you don't have any spare drills lying around, you could use this same technique with sequins or glitter or table confetti, anything to fill up these shapes with a bit of glitz and sparkle. So there we go, that's 2 petals done. Come round and do this one. I will say, if you're going in a little bit rushed like I am before the glue is completely clear, just be aware that if you get glue on the end of your pen, it will make your pen quite sticky. Obviously you can clean it off with a bit of a wet wipe or a tissue, and it does all eventually dry clear. Because this is on paper, I wouldn't necessarily want to use a sealer over the top, because I wouldn't want the paper to wrinkle. But if you are worried about there being a little bit of extra sticky, then you can go in with either some very fine glitter or cornstarch or talc if you've got that kicking around. That will just take off any of that extra sticky from around the edges, and then you just need to gently brush it off with sort of a makeup brush or a paint brush, just to get in to all those nooks and crannies. But you can see how quick this is to do, and literally as I'm sat here doing this, I'm thinking that I would quite like to try this method and cut them out and make brooches. So maybe instead of doing it on cardstock, doing it on some acetate, and then cutting out the flowers, popping a pin on the back and making brooches. I think that would be particularly nice. I could see me making one of these for, you know, Remembrance Sunday. You could put them on hair clips. Once you've got the confidence to create your own thing, then obviously anything that you do after that, the world is your oyster. You can go wild, do anything that you want. Now, for the middle of the flower, in here is all my larger bits and bobs, and these would be perfect. So there we go. I've gone in with the larger black drill there. Here I've got some black sparkles. I'm just going to pop some of these there we go. So that is my first flower finished.
And there we have it, peeps, all completed and ready to be gifted. There are obviously 1,000,001 different ways that you could use this technique, so if you are going to try it, please do let me know down in the comments and share your pictures in the Crafty Coven group on Facebook if you would like. You can also, of course, find me on Instagram and Twitter. A big, huge thank you and shout out to my patrons. They help me to keep making these videos for you all. And if you can, find it in your hearts and your wallets to have a look at what's on offer over there. I would greatly appreciate it. So that's all from me for today. If you like what I do, please do like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, stay crafty.